Have you ever had one of those days where your mind just won't shut off? You lay your head on the pillow, but your thoughts keep racing. You are carrying the weight of tomorrow, wondering how everything is going to work out. If that is you tonight, take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. You are safe here. You can let go of that heavy weight now. Tonight, we are going to step back in time. We are going to walk through a story about someone who lost everything, felt completely helpless, but found a peace that changed her life forever. It is the story of a young woman named Ruth. Before we begin our journey, let's get your body ready for rest. Adjust your pillow. Pull your blanket up. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take another deep, slow breath in. Hold it for a moment and gently let it go. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension leave your body. You do not have to solve any problem tonight. Right now, your only job is to relax and listen. Imagine living in a world that suddenly feels completely unfamiliar. That was Ruth's reality. She lived in a land called Moab, but life had taken everything from her. Her husband had passed away. Her father-in-law was gone too. In those days, losing the men in your family meant losing your protection, your income, and your future. Ruth was left with her mother-in-law, Naomi. Naomi was heartbroken, tired, and felt completely empty. She decided to walk back to her hometown of Bethlehem, hoping to find a bit of food. She told Ruth to stay behind, to stay where it was safe and familiar. But Ruth did something beautiful. She looked at Naomi and said, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Think about the courage that took. Ruth walked away from the only home she ever knew. She entered a foreign land with absolutely nothing but a promise. Have you ever had to start over? Have you ever faced an uncertain future, not knowing where your next blessing will come from? Ruth knew that exact feeling. As they walked into Bethlehem, the whole town gathered to look at them. Naomi told the people, "Don't call me Naomi anymore. Call me bitter, because life has been very hard on me." Ruth stood there in the background, a stranger in a new place, carrying the weight of their survival on her young shoulders. But even in the dark, A quiet plan was already moving for her. It was the beginning of the barley harvest. Ruth knew they needed food to survive, so she volunteered to go out into the fields. Into those days, poor people were allowed to walk behind the harvesters and pick up the leftover grain that fell into the ground. It was hard, exhausting work. It was also humiliating. Ruth didn't complain. She walked into the massive field and simply started walking. Now she didn't know whose field it was. To her, it just seems like a random choice. But the Bible tells us that she happened to find herself in a field belonging to a man named Boaz. Isn't it comforting to know that what looks like a coincidence to us is actually God directing our steps? You might feel like you are wandering blindly through life right now. You might worry about your finances, your family, or your health. But just like Ruth, you are being guided even when you cannot see the map. Soon, Boaz came to the field to check on his workers. The very first thing he did was greeting his workers by saying, "May the Lord be with you." And they answered, "May the Lord bless you." This was a place of safety and kindness. Boaz noticed Ruth working hard in the heat. He asked his supervisor who she was. When he heard her story, how she had left her home to take care of her elderly mother-in-law, his heart was deeply moved. He walked up to Ruth. Imagine how her heart must have raced. Was she in trouble? Was she going to be kicked out instead? Boaz spoke to her with incredible gentleness. He told her, "Listen to me, my daughter. Stay right here in my fields. Don't go anywhere else. I have told my men not to mistreat you. Whenever you are thirsty, go get a drink from the water jars." Ruth was overwhelmed by his kindness. She bowed down and asked, "Why are you being so nice to me? I am just a stranger." Boaz looked at her and said something so beautiful. "It serves as a promise for you tonight as well." He said, "I have heard all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since your husband died. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Under his wings. What a peaceful image to hold on to as you drift off to sleep. Picture a bird protecting its young from the cold, covering them completely, keeping them safe from the storm. That is where you are tonight. You are under the wings of a loving Creator who sees your hard work, sees your tears, and knows your worries. Boaz didn't stop there. At lunchtime, he invited Ruth to sit with him. He handed a roasted grain, and she ate until she was completely full, with leftovers to take home to Naomi. He even secretly told his workers to pull out extra stalks of barley from the bundles and leave them on the ground for her to find. When Ruth returned home that evening, Naomi was shocked by how much grain she brought back. When Ruth told her about Boaz, Naomi's face lighted up with a joy she hadn't felt in years. She wept and said, "The Lord has not stopped showing his kindness to the living and the dead." In one single day, Ruth went from being a stressed, worried outsider to a woman who was protected, fed, and deeply valued. She didn't have to force it to happen. She just trusted, took one step at a time, and let God take care of the rest. As you close your eyes and let the heaviness of the day melt into the mattress, remember Ruth's journey. You do not need to figure out the rest of your life tonight. You do not need to solve tomorrow's problem in the dark. The same God who guided Ruth to that field is guiding you. The same God who moved the heart of Boaz to provide for her is providing for you. You can rest now. You are safe. You are covered under his wings. If this story brought peace to your heart tonight, please take a quiet moment to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. It helps our peaceful community grow, so we can bring restful nights to even more people around the world. And feel free to share your thoughts or a simple good night in the comments below. Let your breathing slow down, in and out. Let the music wash over you. Sleep deeply. Rest well. Good night, my friend.